Everyone, Pfizer also out with its earnings today. The vaccine maker's shares are trading lower pre-market here, down by about 0.3%. The company beat on revenue for the quarter while missing on earnings. Revenue climbed 77% year over year, getting a boost from the company's COVID vaccine and its antiviral pill, Paxlovid. There's a lot to break down here, of course. The vaccines continue to be in focus, of course, as Pfizer and BioNTech. Some of the preliminary data that they have seen and continue to file some more of not just approvals for emergency use, but for full authorization that would allow them to then market these vaccines later on internationally as well. That's in focus. But I think additionally here, the reaffirmation of their financial guidance for $98 billion to $102 billion. There is some changes in terms of the financial accounting, but I think going forward from here, just the revenue guidance that they're providing on Comirnaty, which is the pronunciation that I'm still going to try and get down even once.
You did well. That was
vaccine.
good.
That's all we have to know.
Exactly.
That's all we have to know.
$32 billion there.
It seems like investors want to know why they're not raising their forecasts. That seems to be the key question coming out of this. So the vaccine revenue, I'm not even going to try and say their trade name for it because nobody calls it that anyway. The vaccine revenue last quarter was $13.23 billion. That was better than estimated. That Paxlovid, to your point, missed estimates, coming in around $1.5 billion. And I think they're going to get some questions on the call about that particular miss. There are a lot of things going on with Paxlovid, right? We just got that data out that showed it is not necessarily helpful to prevent COVID. If there's someone in your home who has been diagnosed, doesn't necessarily show any significant preventative effects. We also have seen out there in the world, just anecdotally, right, that that's mostly being prescribed to people who are immunocompromised, or there might be some holding back of supply. So I'm curious to hear what they're going to say on the call, or what they have said on the call, since we've been prepping for the show while that's happening. But they didn't raise the forecast for the year for those vaccine sales. So maybe that's some of the disappointment.
And I'll just add, too, right now, Pfizer, surprisingly, I would say, not normally the case, Pfizer, the top trending ticker on the Yahoo Finance platform right now. If you want to compare quarters, I would say Pfizer coming out here calling out $32 billion in COVID sales this year sure looks a lot better than what we heard from J&J and CFO Joe Woe a couple weeks ago.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's night and day, the Pfizer vaccine, reception that we have seen and the sales that we have seen versus Johnson & Johnson, I think. The $32 billion, by the way, though, for that contract, again, that's unchanged. And I think analysts were looking for more like $34 billion. So, again, the commentary is going to be quite interesting.
Absolutely.